All right, today it's time for another run outdoors. I've been indoors for about 7, almost 8 weeks. And yeah, how bad has that been for my training to be self-quarantined? If you've been watching my videos this year, then you probably already know that I was training for a half marathon with a speed goal. After that, I was training for a full marathon. I was supposed to run the marathon in Nashville in April, but that got canceled, obviously. I've been indoors since mid-March and I have a treadmill at home, so I'm still able to run indoors, but it's not the same as being outdoors. Plus, that kind of gave me some motivational problems. Not just because I just didn't want to run anymore, because I didn't want to run, but the treadmill makes you run differently. And I don't know if it's just my treadmill or if that's with all treadmills. I don't really have a lot of experience with different treadmills, but when I'm running, especially at high speed, it slips a little bit, which makes me feel like I have to watch my step. I have to be careful how I put my foot on the mat, and yeah, it's just awkward running on it, and it makes me feel like I'm changing the way that I run. And I was kind of afraid that that would hurt my regular running once I would be able to go outside again. Plus, yeah, it is very boring. I did run the half marathon, the Star Wars virtual half marathon on the treadmill. That's the longest run that I've done in the past 7 or 8 weeks. So yeah, I'm glad that there's some more time to be running outdoors now, but still, I did a treadmill run this week. I did a 5K, which was at high speed. I did 5K in 19 minutes and 15 seconds, but the whole time I'm thinking, okay, don't slip, don't fall, don't somehow get caught and get rolled off the treadmill. So it's just not comfortable running, and that's what's keeping me from going on the treadmill, because I know that once I get on, it's gonna be one of those runs that I'm not gonna enjoy. So I have been running this whole time, but not as much as I wanted to, and not as much as I should have been if I was actually really training for that marathon, especially the long distances that I should have been running. So yeah, I've been mostly doing short distances, short, fast-paced distances. I feel like I'm losing a lot of my training, and yeah, I've worked pretty hard for it to get to that speed again for that half marathon. I was working really hard towards the marathon, and I feel that in the 7 weeks that I've been indoors now, I've lost a lot of that. Now, besides the running, I have been doing my strength training. Also, probably not as much as I would have done otherwise, because yeah, I feel like I'm skipping that too often as well. Normally I'm alone when I do my exercises. Kiara's at work, and then I'm by myself. I can do my exercises in the house. Now Kiara's at home, her mom's staying with us, so yeah, it gets kind of awkward sometimes, and I just skip it and feel horrible about it afterwards because I want to keep training. But yeah, it's the way it is right now.
All the ways that you keep me alive.
lack of a goal to train for also is making it a little bit harder to put in the miles. I only have 2 events that I'm registered for the rest of the year, which are the Disney races in Paris and RunFest Run in London, which is moved to the beginning of September now, which I don't think is going to happen. And I'm also getting a little bit pessimistic about the Paris races because, yeah, the way it's looking right now, France is going to be locked down till September. Maybe they're going to prolong that. Here they're saying they might not have events for the rest of the year. So I'm getting a little bit pessimistic, and yeah, that's not really motivating for my training either. Now perhaps we will have races again in September and we'll have a great fall season with all these runs that have been postponed. But from what I've been hearing is they're expecting a second peak, and if that happens, then yeah, we might all be in lockdown again and be indoors. Everything's going to be closed down, and then we're definitely not going to have events, and that might last into next year even. So it's really all still up in the air, and they're looking at it week by week. So I think that's all we can do as well. So I know that is not a reason for me to not be training, not be putting in the miles, because yeah, I want to be ready for when the next marathon's on and I can be running again, but it's not really motivating. So the self-quarantine has messed with my running goals quite a bit. Not only was I training for a marathon in April, which yeah, I kind of let slip all that training because yeah, I wasn't running the marathon. Also, I plan to run a marathon in October in Spain, the fastest marathon in the world, which is completely downhill. Now my goal for that one was to try and run a Boston qualifying time. Now I have no idea if I'd be able to do it, but still I was going to attempt it there. And if I would get a Boston qualifying time, that would really change my my running schedule, the races that I have scheduled for the next coming years. Because yeah, I don't have to rely on a ballot to get in or a travel agent. So I don't see that happening anymore because registration still hasn't opened. So I think that means that the race is just not going to happen this year. Plus, I'm not really training for it right now either to run at that speed. So yeah, self-quarantine has really messed with my goals. Here in the Netherlands, they're opening a lot more businesses now. Stores are open, hairdressers. Starting the 1st of June, they're thinking of reopening all the bars and restaurants. We're not going to have big events, but theaters, movie theaters, they're going to be open for 30 people, I think, at first, and then moving up to 100 in July. So slowly but surely, things are going to go back to normal if things keep going the same direction. I don't think we'll have any running events anytime soon. But yeah, it means that I'm going to be going back to work, which means I'm going to be running outdoors again as well. So yeah, I can pick up my training a little bit more and actually stick to a normal running schedule. So yeah, that's one thing that I am looking forward to. Okay, another thing that the self-quarantine kind of messed up for me was the past 7 weeks we've been having perfect running weather. Not that it's been like dry and sunny, but it's just not been too hot and not too cold. We haven't had that much rain, so that's always nice, and not be soaking wet when you're running. So the weather's been perfect and I've been indoors. Now that I'm going outside again, it is today it's 21 degrees. It feels a little bit warmer than that. That's Celsius. But it's getting to that point where it's the kind of weather where we're all complaining that it's too hot to be running outside. So yeah, thanks self-quarantine for taking away the best 7 weeks of the year for running. Okay, so maybe now you're wondering, why am I running outdoors? What has changed? Well, a lot more businesses opened again, and I figured a lot more people will be working, a lot more people will be going other places. So I figured I would give it a shot and see if it would be less crowded now. Also, there are two parts to this area. The first part is where everybody parks their car and they walk around there, hang out there. And I drive past that. I park my car in the back end and then run smaller circles in the back area where there are a lot less people because there's hardly anybody here. Of course, I have to run smaller circles and in the same area, but still I get to run where there's hardly any people around. So yeah, this way I don't have to wait till it rains, because that was my plan at first, to wait for rain. It hasn't rained all week. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain this week. So yeah, I just need to go out. The last couple of weeks have also kind of changed my food and water intake, I've noticed. Normally when I'm at work, it's very easy for me to drink a lot because I'm always drinking water. At home, it's already a little bit tougher for me to do that. I have the H2O bottle that reminds me to drink something. But still, now I'm sitting behind the computer doing a lot of work on my videos, and a lot of times I forget to drink water. Same with the food. I'm eating different things, I'm eating more throughout the day, and I'm moving a lot less. I've gained about 3.5 kilos since I started staying at home. So yeah, I need some more exercise. So has it all been bad staying at home? Well, seeing that there are no real goals to train for, I guess by the time races are announced again and there'll be something to train for, I'll have enough time to work on my distance and my speed again for those races. So in that aspect, I haven't lost that much in my training. Maybe in speed, although I have been doing some speed runs and doing my strength training, although not as much as I should. But maybe I haven't lost it that much in that aspect. On the other hand, I've been getting some rest. And for the past couple of years, I've been training for marathons, and I haven't been taking any rest except for a couple of times where I had injuries. So now I got some time to rest without having an injury, which yeah, could be beneficial for my body as well. So there is kind of a silver lining here. Okay, so on that positive note, let's wrap it up. Now, of course, there are a lot of negative aspects to this quarantine, lockdown, whatever your situation is, where you are. But yeah, we all just have to deal with it. And there are some positive things that might come out of this. So we're just gonna push ahead our running goals, look forward to the races that will be coming up in the future, and yeah, keep on training. All right, until next time, get out there and run.